How to Control Your Emotions, Zen Master's Guide to Inner Peace. Have you ever watched a storm pass over a mountain? The thunder may roar, the winds may howl, but the mountain does not move. It remains still, rooted, unshaken. This is how we must learn to be with our emotions. Sit with me for a few quiet moments. Let us talk about that fire within, anger, fear, sadness, even joy, and how we can learn to meet each one with grace rather than resistance. I was not always calm. In my youth, I too was tossed by the waves of emotion. One day, I broke a bamboo flute in anger, frustrated with my teacher's silence. He simply smiled, offered me tea, and said, "You have destroyed the flute, but what music have you destroyed within yourself?" It took me years to understand the lesson. When emotion controls you, you lose your ability to create, to love, to be present. Emotions are not the enemy. They are messages, smoke rising from the fire of our thoughts. But we must ask, is the fire wild or is it tended? First lesson, emotions are not facts. Just because you feel unworthy does not mean you are. Just because you feel angry does not mean something unjust has occurred. In the temple, we sweep the same floor every morning, not because it is dirty, but to keep the mind clear. So too must we sweep our thoughts again and again until we see what lies beneath. Second lesson, breathe before you speak. I once knew a monk who wore a tiny bell around his neck. Every time he felt a strong emotion, he would gently ring it and wait until the sound faded before responding. This simple ritual taught him patience. The breath is the bridge between the body and the mind. When your breath is calm, your thoughts slow down. Only then can you choose how to act rather than react. Third lesson, don't attach yourself to the emotion. Imagine a river. Emotions are the leaves floating on its surface. Most people grab at every leaf, joyful, sad, angry, clinging to each as if it defines them. But the wise one sits on the bank and watches them pass. You are not the leaf. You are the river, or perhaps you are the one watching the river. Let me tell you a story. A traveler once came to me furious. His business had failed. His wife had left. He shouted at the heavens, cursed his fate. I handed him a cup of tea and said, "Drink slowly." He was confused. But as he drank, his breath slowed, his anger cooled, and he cried. "Why didn't you say anything?" he asked. I replied, "Your cup was full." I gave you silence to empty it. You see, sometimes what we need most is not an answer, but space, a moment to feel without being overwhelmed, to let the storm pass so the mountain can remain. Ask yourself this, do you control your emotions or do they control you? The next time you feel anger rise, pause, feel it fully, acknowledge it, but do not become it. The moment between emotion and reaction is where peace lives. And in that moment, you are free. Final lesson, forgive yourself for feeling. Even a Zen master cries. But I do not become the tear. I watch it fall, and I bow to its lesson. When the mind is still, the heart speaks. Let yours speak from compassion, not chaos. Thank you for sitting with me. May your emotions become your teachers, not your chains. And remember, the mountain never moves, but it always sees the sky.